been quite a while since I've done this. I've been out in the kayak mostly, mainly due to the shore conditions being pretty poor. So much so that I actually blanked the last time I was out, and reports have been pretty dire really. The Pollack don't seem to be about. People are catching a lot of cod instead, which is good. I like catching cod, but they don't fight as hard as a Pollack because the seagulls start going mental. I'm going to try and catch a wrasse. It's rare that I catch wrasse on the east coast of the UK. Whenever I go to the Atlantic or the Irish Sea, don't have a problem at all. But fishing out in the North Sea, I don't know what it is. They use the same techniques as they do over on the west side, but I feel I don't get much luck at all, to be honest. I know they're here because I've caught them on floats with bait, and well, you know me, I like fishing with lures mostly, so I'm going to see what I can do. I've chosen this mark today because supposedly there's a westerly wind, but for some reason it's been coming from the northeast. I was hoping to be sheltered from the cliffs behind, but instead the wind's coming round this corner and following the tide along. I'm starting off with 14 gram Cheburusca, or shaky head, whatever you want to call them, bottom jig, with a 2.0 worm hook and a 3.5 inch slider minnow on. I'm using Lamya Thief, 8.5 foot. This is 4 to 28 gram casting weight. Although fishing the lighter end of that range is a little tricky, you lose a bit of sensitivity. On that I've got a 15 pound braid with a 20 pound fluorocarbon leader. All that's on a Diawa Freams 2508, which is a 2,500 size reel but with a shallow spool. Just before I get into the fishing though, you may have noticed that I've got a different cap on. This cap was actually sent to me by a guy called Ryan, who is one of my subscribers, but he actually has his own YouTube fishing channel called Saltwater Lure Fishing. Just search for it on there. I just want to take a moment to say as well that just before I get into the fishing, my subscribers, thank you very much to all of you, and the new subscribers, thank you very much for joining. Much appreciated. You may notice that I'm wearing a different cap to usual. This cap was sent to me by a guy called Ryan, who's got a YouTube channel called Saltwater Lure Fishing, which is a fledgling channel, but it's really good. It catches some good bass, fishes in some great locations, and he has also got quite a large Facebook group under the same name, which has got about 6,000 people in it. Go and check them out. It's a really good channel, like I said, and a really good Facebook group. And Ryan, thank you very much for the cap. So, let's see how this little bad boy gets on. Well, that didn't end too well. I think I had about 4 casts. Got snagged straight away. I'm going to tie the same setup back on again. My 20 pound fluoro, and probably the same lure and the same weight. So I've had a good few casts around now, and not a single sniff so far, so the wind seems to have died down a little bit, and I've noticed a couple of cormorants diving out just in the main flow of the tide there, so I'm probably going to put a slightly heavier weight on and fish in the main flow. I'd like to catch a fish, a small pollock, coley. So I've just moved literally about 20 yards further up the rock mark, but now I've got a much broader area to cast into. I know there's some rough boulders around here, it's really snaggy, quite shallow, and then there's a channel that kind of heads out that way. What I'm going to do is cast into the tide there, and then hopefully try and bring it along the bottom of the left wall of the channel, if that makes sense. You can visualise it. I swapped over to an 18 gram Cheburusca just to get a little bit of extra distance and some sensitivity in the tide. It's only a small tide today, so there's not a huge amount of flow for this area, but you can still see it moving quite a lot. So here's a charter boat. Hopefully they're not coming in here. Just shows how deep the water is around here when charter boats are fishing this close to shore. It's not a good sign when there's 20 blokes on a boat chucking in feathers, or probably baited feathers, and they're not reeling up the thing. Still, you never know, that's fishing. Finally! Finally! Hit it on the drop, this one. Oh, it's going for the kelp. It's a nice Pollack. Woo! There we go. Probably about, I don't know, 4 pounds maybe, 4.5. It's quite long, must be about 50 odd centimetres. Real dark colour, this one, you know it lives in the kelp when they come out this colour. The orange spots on the side there as well. So it's been probably about 2 hours since I got here. That was my first hit. Unfortunately I was able to catch it. Nice Pollack, and it was taken on the old faithful Cheburusca and slider shad combo. Really like this colour. It's actually meant as a freshwater colour, but it looks really similar to a little sand eel, I guess. Seems to work really well in the clear water that I'm fishing at the moment. I know I said I was going to try and catch a wrasse, but at least I've got the blank off my back now, and I can concentrate more on, well, actually I can just relax. So it's been about 10 minutes since I caught that fish, and I always like to fish the same area that I've just landed a fish from, because it seems that Pollack seem to school up, and if there's one, there's normally another. Maybe not this time though. So I've just had a bite to eat, and the tide's slowing down now. It must have hit high tide. I've kept the same weight on, but I've swapped the paddle tail over to a little, it's called a Z-Man punch crawl, and it's actually really stretchy, but it's made out of buoyant material. So since it's tied onto a chabaruska here, when it's on the bottom it sits up like that, and that's exactly what like shrimp and crabs do when they feel threatened. Had quite a lot of success for wrasse on these over in North Wales, so hopefully there might be one lurking around who likes one of these. Never caught a pollock on one yet. It's first time for everything, I guess. Let's see how we get on. Just had 3 casts with that lure, and pretty much lost it on the 3rd cast. Gonna have to retie my leader, and gonna have a think about what I'm gonna put on next. So I've retied my leader, and I've put a 15 gram, I think, fish minnow on. It's transparent on the bottom, black on the top. Looks very similar to the fish I've seen swimming around on the just under my feet here. Because the water's so clear as well, I've tied on a bit of a longer leader. Don't know if it makes a difference, like, but any little sort of modification that might help might make the difference, hopefully. There's literally hundreds of little baby fish, look like pollock or codlin, very dark brown. Just all, well, they seem quite relaxed in their nature, so I'm guessing that there's no predators about. Soon see though if anything comes around, because they'll scatter. So I've spent a good 45 minutes throwing this green lure around. What I'm going to do is just go and get onto that point there, a little rock out, sticking out there, and going to fish out a little bit further. Looks fishy. Lost it all again. Now I'm going to have to go all the way back round and retie. See you in a little bit. I'm hooked up to one, but it's just got me trapped in the kelp. I just tied on a fish crazy, fish crazy sand eel. I was just bringing it along the edge here, and something took it right at my feet. It was just too big, it dragged me down, and you can see that my fluorocarbon there is all chafed up. It's just snapped me off on the edge of these barnacles. Damn! I think it's going to be one of those days. still smarting after losing that fish. Just had a couple of casts and I realised that my braid was frayed as well as the as my leader, so I've just taken a moment to retie it because I don't want to have the schoolboy error of saying, oh, it'll be alright when and if my next bite comes along. It's been so slow today that I can't really afford any mistakes. I've never seen that. I hope that video picked it up. Oh, that was lush. Just on a fast retrieve. Just bringing it in. It was a little bit, there's going to be nothing on this cast. Just as I was bringing my lure out of the water, this plucky little git jumped straight out of the water and caught my lure mid-air and hooked himself. Speechless at that. Excellent. It's made my day. Well, after losing my my crazy eel, that was my last one, so I've put this back on. This slider in the sort of sand eely colour. Just seemed to make sense since I had one on a similar colour with a crazy eel. Oh, lush. So that last little pollock, the little guy who jumped out of the water, he was my last fish for probably about 40 minutes or so on that point. So I've come back round to the cave here and I'm just going to fish this little wall for half an hour or so, and then it's probably time that I head back. I've been here for maybe 6 hours now, and 2 fish and 1 lost. So hopefully I can get something else just out along here. So that's me done now. It's been an alright day, I guess. I've seen an acrobatic pollock taking my lure when it wasn't even in the water. Did get the first fish, which was about 4 pounds I think. And I lost an alright one. I'm not sure what size it was, but it snapped us off. So I've tried a few different things. The wrasse will have to wait, I guess. If anyone's got any hints or tips to how to catch them around here, then without using bait, just leave a comment and down below. I'd be much appreciated. So a big thank you to Saltwater Lure Fishing for the cap. and don't forget to check out his YouTube channel. I'll leave a link down below, and to his Facebook group. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel please if you haven't already, and thank you to the people that have. My channel's not monetized, so well, it's not monetized, so I can play the music that I do. Any adverts you see, or royalties to the tunes that I'm using. But yeah, having your subscriptions and your help and comments and likes makes a big difference, and good to keep going. So until the next time, tight lines.